midday banter. Coming at you with a tech review about the products that appeal to you. Ain't no capping with the blue cap, he just spitting the truth.
Welcome back, fam. Let's start this off with a little blind sound test.
Hey, I'm kind of glad you didn't pick up. I kind of just called to hear your voice. I miss you. I've been thinking about you, and I've been thinking about our love, and how much I miss you. I miss being around you. Hey, I'm kind of glad you didn't pick up. I kind of just called to hear your voice. I miss you. I've been thinking about you, and I've been thinking about our love, and how much I miss you.
Using this in the complete darkness here. So before it gets completely dark, as you can see, the buttons have LEDs above them. But when the lights go out, it gets really dark and you don't know what buttons those are. So just a heads up if you're using this in the complete darkness. Using this speaker in the dark, as I turn on the speaker, you can see the LEDs come on. Now in the complete darkness, you can still see all the buttons and they're easily accessible. Definitely usable in the complete darkness. The Soundcore comes with the USB-C and a quick start guide, real basic stuff. And of course, you're gonna get the speaker. The Tribit comes with a manual as well and a USB-C cable, USB-C to A. Basic stuff here. And yes, you do get the speaker as well. Now, this is a versus video, but I do wanna go over a few things that they do have in common. Both of these speakers do have the two drivers with the passive radiator in the middle. This one you can't see it as well because it has a aluminum grill here. But as you can see here, well, maybe you can't see it, but it's two drivers here and a passive radiator in the middle here. They all have their buttons on the top, so easy to access, and that's for both of them. On the back, it's like with the passive radiator being in the front, it's like a release, or all the air can come out, or if there's any heat. Rubber feet on the bottoms, same as this one. And then you have the strap as well. So they both have a strap. This one has a very tiny strap, so maybe you can put a little hook on there and hook it to your backpack or something like that. This is long enough to put on your hand. Put a hook on this one as well. You can hook it just like that. So you definitely have a few more options with it being this long. They're both IPX7, so you can definitely get these wet and you won't have to worry. Bluetooth 5.3, stereo pairing or party mode. You can do that with either of these, just the brands have different names for them, but it's exactly the same thing. They both have apps. We'll get to that a little bit later. And they have custom EQ and preset EQ. And we're definitely gonna dive into that quite a bit. All right, fam, if you're still enjoying this content, go ahead and smash that like button. Earlier, we did a blind speaker test, speaker A and B. You ready to find out which one was which? The Soundcore was speaker test A, and the Tribit was speaker test B. Now, when you listen to those, did they sound different or did they sound the same? You let me know in the comments below. Starting with the Tribit, let's talk about some of their differences. Now, physically, the buttons on the top are a lot larger. Check that out. They're real large. And then on the back here, you have your little logo. There's your aux and your USB-C. And there's the ports inside there. Talked about the little ventilation on the back here. Tribit logo right in the center there. And you have like a metal grill. The build quality is good. It's like a very hard plastic. And one more time about the little strap. You can put your whole hand through it just like that. Physically, I like it. It's pretty nice. Definitely has some good features to it. But I want to talk about some of the stuff that isn't surface level that really makes this stand out from the Soundcore. So starting with the power button, it's a quick press it, it's on, press it, it's off. I said that earlier, but I want to reiterate that. It has 3 custom sound modes and 6 preset EQs. It's already set to shut off within 15 minutes when you're using this if there's no activity. So just be aware of that. But there are some other options as well you can use for auto shut off. Now the EQ button is mainly for X bass and audiobook setting. So when you press it, it activates the X bass with the extra bass, if you want to call it that. You press it one more time, it'll activate the audiobook setting. And if you press it again, it'll turn it off for the EQ. But it doesn't go through all of the EQs that's set on the app. Just a major heads up there. The charge time for this is about 4 hours, up to 24 hours of playtime. Now that's going to be based on how loud you're playing your music. So that's rated at about 60% volume for that 24 hours. And then if you're using the bass, well, that's all going to play a critical role in that 24 hours of playtime. You can connect 2 devices via Bluetooth to this speaker, which is really nice added on feature there. The battery is a 2400 milliamp battery. The frequency is 50 to 20 kilohertz. And this actually has hands-free calling, so you can make calls using this speaker. And last but not least, the Tribit is 30 watts of total power. Now we have the Soundcore Motion 100. Real quick, just gonna go over the features again. Aluminum metal grille logo is covering the passive radiator. 2 drivers, talked about the strap already, in the bottom. And the ventilation on the side here. What I didn't talk about was this. It says Motion 100 on the side. When you peel that back, there's a USB-C in there for charging. They have a speckled paint job on here. Hopefully you can see that from the top here. Build quality, it's like a tank. You drop this on the ground, you should be okay. Now, we need to get into the app because there's a few things on the app that are beyond the surface level of this speaker. Starting with the power button, you press it, it comes on. Now when you press it again, it won't go off. You have to hold it for at least 2 seconds. Then it goes off. Taking a look at the app, you have auto power off options. Now when it comes to sound mode, if your device is capable of handling high-res wireless audio, this is where you will select that. Your button brightness option. That's going to affect these buttons right here on the top. With your EQ presets, you're only going to get 4 of them. So you got to make do with what you got, right? Now when it comes to custom EQ, you get a full 9-band EQ. So you can definitely play with that. Last but not least, the Soundcore Motion 100 has 20 watts of total power. Charge time is 5 hours according to the manual, and it's up to 12 hours of playtime. Now that's going to be based off how loud you play it. So I'm assuming that's going to be around 50 to 60%, somewhere around there. And if you're using the bass, well, that's going to affect it too. Price wise, the Tribit comes in at $69 and the Soundcore comes in at $64. They're really competitive when it comes to price point. And take a look at the dimensions and extra information here.
All right, fam, this is what it's going to sound like if you use this to make Bluetooth phone calls. I appreciate all of y'all. Until next time, I'm Dave Banter. We out.